Hello. Okay. Hi guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, goddesses. All right, let me just put my phone in a good position. I hope y'all are doing good. Wait, let me check my other phone. I wanted to check my other phone, but I just realized my battery is not charged on my other phone. Oh my God, I wasn't organized with this. But I'm just gonna make an assumption and trust that all of you can see me. Actually, I have my laptop in front of me. Let me check. But happy Sunday, goddesses. I am so excited to be here to talk to you all. We've now, guys, it's so crazy that we're now in the month of October. Guys, we're in October. Wasn't it just yesterday that we were all saying Happy New Year, Happy 2025? From Happy 2025 to we're in the final quarter of 2025. It feels like just yesterday that we were saying Happy New Year, which is insane. The way this year has gone fast. Listen, this year, I'm not saying that this year has gone fast to scare y'all, but this year has gone fast to wake you all up as to how time waits for nobody. Time just goes. But even though we're now in October, we're now in the final quarter of the year, that doesn't mean it's too late for you to achieve your goals. All right? A lot can be done in a short space of time. A lot can be done in 30 days if you choose to put in the work and commit to doing the work. Right? Like today, I was ready to, after church today. So today I went to church, very beautiful Thanksgiving service. At the church, it was their 32nd year anniversary, and one thing that my pastor preached a very powerful word about: merging and acquiring things in your purpose, things that you want in your life. Not merging to the bad things and not conforming to settling by merging with it, but choosing to acquire the life of your dream. I was just like, that was such a powerful word. At times, when we're going through life and through being busy, it's always good to hear a word to remind you of the journey you're on. And now that we're in the month of October, I feel like it's important. One thing I said is I've set a goal for myself. And I said, you know what, this is a goal I'm going to set for myself. If I can't go live every week or every day, I'm going to at least go live once a week and once a month. I said I have to set this discipline for myself, that if I can't at least go live every single day on my pages, in my groups, I'm going to go live once every week, because I have to be visible, right? I have to be visible. And for me to rise into my next level, I have to release certain things, right? And this is the word I have for you all. I said, all right, I promise that as a founder of this group, as the Inspirational Guru, as your coach, as your mentor, I'm going to be visible to you all more often. I'm going to show up more often, because by me choosing to not be visible, you can't expect God to elevate you to the next level and not be visible. One of my favorite speakers, an amazing woman of God who I met last year while volunteering at the speakers conference, Haley Melenda, amazing woman of God, amazing speaker, radiant smile. She preached and spoke a powerful word, which is, you are too broke to not be visible. And you are too broke to not be shy. And I was like, yo, that is a real word, right? You can't expect God to take you to another territory if you haven't established yourself in a certain territory. Right? You haven't opened a territory in the UK. So you want to be able to speak in America, you want to be able to speak in Dubai, but you haven't tapped into the territory that God has placed you in, right? Have you trusted God to place you in the territory you're in so that he can expand your territory? And I was like, wow, she's really preaching a word, and that really spoke to me. And that word applies to me. So I said, okay, if I want to be seen, if I want to be able to attract my ideal clients a bit more, if I really want to be able to tap into connecting to every member in my group a bit more, I need to show up more often. Yeah? So this is me holding myself accountable, and I'm asking you all to hold me accountable to make sure I do that. If any of y'all in this group don't see me go live one week, say, hey, Veritas, hey, founder, where you at? We ain't seen you this week. So this is me assigning y'all in this group to hold me accountable. But before we go there, it's important I introduce myself. So hello. My name is Veritas, also known as the Inspirational Guru. And why people have said to me, why are you the Inspirational Guru? Well, I am a guru at inspiring people. My gift God gave me was to inspire people to become greater than where they are, to become greater and to become better. That's my gift. My gift is inspiration. So that's why I'm called the Inspirational Guru. That's my coaching name, my branding name. But my actual name is Veritas. I am a lawyer by day. So professionally, I'm a lawyer. an attorney, as Americans call it. I love I prefer the American name for lawyers. I'm an attorney, I'm a lawyer. All right, calls to the Bar of England and Wales. America, I'm coming for y'all next to do the American bar exams. I'm excited for that because that's a long life dream of mine. All right, so that's my profession by day. I'm a lawyer, but on top of that, I'm also a manifestation, a mindset coach and consultant. I'm a transformation coach, mindset coach and consultant. I'm also the owner of the Go Getters Empire merch brand as well. So I'm an entrepreneur, and I also am a digital products girly as well. Part of this digital products girlies, the AI girlies. Hey. All right. So today I'm coming to you all as your coach and as your mentor to talk about the October word I had is rise, is release. All right. And let me tell you why this word is really important. Because as we're approaching the final, oh, and by the way, nice to meet you for those of you who don't know me. So I've introduced myself. Please introduce yourself in the comments. There's nearly 3,000 of you amazing goddesses in this group. I firstly want to thank every single one of you for joining this group, because without you all, this group doesn't exist. All right. Without you all, this group doesn't exist. Y'all are so amazing. Right. Without you all, there would be no Rich Goddess Empire. There's nearly 3,000 of you in this group. I'm so excited. I started this group on a whim last year in October or November. Big shout out to my mentor, who was also one of the admins in this group. Hold on a second. Okay, something just distracted me. Lynette, yeah, my girl Lynette. She's one of the mentors in this group as well. I'm one of the admins in this group. Big shout out to her. She's the boss queen of the Rich Girls. I know she's got the Rich Girls Society, the Rich Girls Network, sorry, which she's just started on the school community. Congratulations to you, sis. I look forward to be able to starting the Rich Goddess Empire on the school platform. But right now I'm starting with what I have here before I expand to bigger places, right? So yes, the word that I really heard last month, which was a very powerful word for me, and I had to apply that. I myself had to apply that to myself, is release, right? For you to be able to go into your next level, you have to release. So many of you right now are in the final quarter of 2025 and you're beating yourself up about not achieving certain goals because of whatever reason. Maybe life got in the way, maybe you got distracted. It can happen to the best of us. But this is where I'm encouraging you not to spend time beating yourself up, but I need you to release that. You need to release that era. You need to release the past to go to your next level. For you to go to your next level, you can't hold on to the past. New oil cannot thrive and glow in an old oil, rusty oil bottle. It can't even be mixed with old oil. New oil and old oil cannot mix. It's because if you try to mix new oil with old oil, it becomes dirty. Right? You can't mix old dirty oil with new oil. You have to release that old oil and dispose of that old oil to be able to have your new oil, right? That applies to you, right? For you to get to your next level, you have to release. That could be releasing certain friendships you're in now. That could be releasing the job you're working now. A lot of you are working a job that you absolutely hate and despise. That job is destroying your mental health. That job is blocking you from receiving certain blessings, and it's even blocking you from going into your next level because it's where you're not supposed to be. And you know it. You feel it in your heart. Now, am I saying that you should go quit your job and struggle financially? No. While you're releasing that job, while you're releasing that job and planning your exit, you need to go looking for the next level. But you have to release it spiritually before you release it physically. And as you're releasing that era spiritually before you release it physically, spiritually, while you're releasing it spiritually, you're applying for new jobs so that as you're releasing it physically, the new era is ready for you to enter it, right? Certain friendships you're in, you're going to have to release. You're going to have to release certain friendships you're in for you to get to the next level. You can't expect God to take you to the next level, and yet you're still trying to hold on to certain friendships that no longer serve you. Now, I know this part is harder. Hello, Olivia. Good to see you, beautiful. I've missed you. Hello. For those of you who are live with me, please put a number 1 in the comments. And for those of you who are on the replay, please put a number 2, because I want to make sure I acknowledge your presence, right? You have to release old friendships. There are certain friendships that you're holding on to that you have to release for you to get to the next level. Now, I understand this one is very challenging because some of you may have had history with certain friendships. You may have known certain friends from when you were in high school or when you were in kindergarten. And because of the history you have with that friendship, you're struggling to release that friendship now. But the truth is, and it's a hard truth, I know this because trust me, I've struggled with this. I'm speaking from experience. You're allowing your history to determine your misery. One of my favorite speakers, Trent Shelton, I saw a video he did years ago. He said, do not allow your history determine your misery. Your history is determining your misery because you're choosing to allow the history you have with that person keep you in a situation that you know is no longer serving you, and you're blocking yourself from moving forward. In this journey of life, right? On your way to your destination, on that journey, only certain people can be with you on that journey. Right? Only certain people can be with you on that journey, but they're not supposed to stay on that journey with you all the way to the end. Some people are going to have to get off that bus to your destination. Some people are going to get on the bus. Some people have to get off that bus. Not everybody that's on that bus is supposed to stay there in the destination with you. And I know that's a very hard part because when your heart is involved, when your emotions are involved, and when you're invested in somebody, right? When you're invested so much in somebody, you feel like you have to keep them around, but you refusing to release them is blocking your blessings from coming in. It's blocking God from being able to do certain things. So at times, God has to force these people out of our lives because by ourselves, we're not listening. So at times, God has to force these people out of our life for us to listen. Ouch. Yep. I had to learn this the hard way multiple times, right? For you to even release, a lot of us, I'm going to say this. I'm just going to say it as it is. A lot of us, right, you know, during the pandemic, we saw a rise of the level up community, which I loved. I loved the fact that a lot of women wanted to level up. I loved the fact that a lot of women wanted to become high value goddess women. But not everyone was willing to do the work it took to become that woman. Everyone's like, yes, I want to morph into my higher self. I want to become a high value goddess woman. I want to tap into my full feminine energy where I attract everything I want. And that I'm no longer settling for bad relationships with men. I'm no longer attracting low-ended clients. But not everyone was willing to do the work. Becoming a high value woman, becoming a high value goddess takes more than just dressing up better, doing better makeup, doing better skincare. That's the external stuff, right? The real work is the internal stuff. Going to therapy to address your childhood traumas, because your inner child, when you don't address your inner child, it manifests in your adult life. That's the deep work to becoming a high value goddess woman. Releasing things. You have to release old friendships, old habits, old ways of thinking, old clutter, renew your entire mindset, right? And the thing is, when it comes to doing that, it's not easy. It's not easy. You're going to have to go through seasons of delayed gratification. So I'm hoping this week or probably next week, I'm going to come back in this group and talk about a live, or probably do it on my actual page and do a live about the delayed gratification versus instant gratification. You're going to have to go through seasons of releasing instant gratification and instead replace that with going through seasons of delayed gratification so that you can become that high value goddess woman you want to be. That also means sacrificing your bad eating habits. You want to have a healthier body, healthier skin. You want to glow. You're going to have to, your health is your wealth. You can't eat certain foods. That's going to affect how your brain works, right? That also means you having to give up certain things you watch on TV, certain reality TV. For those of you who probably watch the Zeus network, which I call the demon network, you may have to drop that because it's very low vibrational. And for you to tap into your high value goddess energy, you're going to have to reduce how much low vibrational content you listen to. You're going to have to reduce your reality TV content and your toxic content you like to watch on YouTube or whatever with educational content, motivational content, spiritual content, going to church, watching sermons about spirituality, about your growth with God, listening to some Neville Goddard, listening to Florence Scovel Shinn, listening to Napoleon Hill, reading more books, right? Going to the gym early in the morning, doing some Pilates, even though it's uncomfortable, but you have to. These are things that a lot of people are not willing to do. Go to therapy and address very deep childhood traumas that you have blocked out and face them head on so that you can grow and heal and into your higher self. That's the real work that a lot of people aren't willing to do. And that work involves releasing to rise. You have to release bad habits, eating habits. You have to release your past and painful traumas by going to therapy to address them. You have to release certain friendships. You have to release bad habits of the TV you're watching, the content you're consuming, right? You have to release certain foods so you can have a healthier body. There is no such thing as getting something for nothing. I've read that in the book of, not the book of, sorry, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich book. And it's also biblical. You have to make sacrifices and go through seasons of delayed gratification for you to go into your next level. And becoming the unforgettable woman, becoming the high value goddess woman, rising into your purposeful being requires you to release. You have to release something. You have to sacrifice something. As much as we don't like the word sacrifice, you have to. You have to make sacrifices, right? For you to go into, as I said earlier, your mental health, there's people who are in jobs that's destroying their mental health. And you know that you're not growing and you're stagnant in this place. For you to get out of stagnation, you have to release what's keeping you stagnant. Even if that's certain friends, even if that's certain family members. Am I saying be disrespectful to them about it? No, be respectful, but you're going to have to respectfully release them and keep your distance, right? So I need you all to understand how important this is. This month in October, what are you willing to release for you to achieve your goals? We're in the last 3 months. You know, I used to hear people say, and I'm guilty of almost, saying this as well. If you haven't started planning your goals now for January 2026, you're too late. No, you're not. You're not too late. You have time, but don't procrastinate during this time. It's better you start now. Start preparing for 2026 now. Start releasing certain things now. You're going to have to release certain things now to get to the next level. What are you willing to release to achieve your goals in these last 3 months of 2025? You didn't achieve it in the first quarter? Stuff happened? Cool. You didn't achieve it in the second quarter? Stuff happened? Cool. You didn't achieve it in the third quarter? Stuff happened? You were nearly there, but you didn't quite get there? All right, fine. What lessons have you learned from not achieving the goals then? And now that we're in the final quarter, what are you willing to release? What season of delayed gratification are you willing to go through to get to your next level? What are you willing to sacrifice now? I had to make a couple sacrifices, which I will talk about when it's time to testify about it. But this month, I had certain plans earlier this year that I wanted to do this month. But when the time came, I said, no. I need to get my house in order in this area of my life. I need to get this area of my life in order. I need to get this area of my life in order. In fact, I'm not happy with this. And it's affecting me and I'm feeling stagnant. So I have to release this for my own good by putting myself first. So I'm going to have to sacrifice this plan and sacrifice that plan so that I can achieve this goal. Right? Certain goals I had, like, oh, I have this goal, I have that goal. Okay, well, great. But you're going to have to release this and release that. What do I have to release? Oh, I'm going to have to release this. And instead of doing this, I'm going to invest my time, money, and sacrifices and full of mind in this. You have to release. What are you willing to release in this final quarter for you to achieve certain goals in 2026 and even certain goals now in 2025 during the last 90 days, probably less than 90 days now? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because listen, with God, all things are possible, right? Yes, we may set our goals for 6 months from now, 3 months from now, but a lot can change in 30 days. If you decide to sacrifice, go 30 days without sugar, caffeine, bread, cookies, junk food, your body can transform. And then instead, replace that with healthy food, more water, 2 to 3 liters of water a day, exercise, Pilates. A lot can happen to your body internally, and the transformation can even show in those 30 days. But what are you willing to release, right? You do therapy consistently within the 30 days. Every week, once a week, you go to therapy alongside your Pilates, alongside your clean eating. It will show and it will manifest itself physically within 30 days because you're doing the inner work. All right? So I need you to ask yourself this. as you're preparing for the week ahead, this is the question I need you to focus on. What am I willing to sacrifice and what am I willing to release now so that I can rise into my next level? That could also include living below your means. You want to become financially literate. You want to become financially free by a certain time. You're going to have to live under your means by going through a season of delayed gratification for this certain amount of time, where you're going to have to cut back on how many vacations you go to. You may have to cut back on how much money you spend on certain things. You may have to cut back on going to certain places. Like, for example, me, let me tell y'all, I love my coffee. And where I live in London is very central. And in central London, all the coffee stuff, all the coffee bars, I'm surrounded by I'm surrounded by cafes. I'm living on a street full of cafes, right? And then on the left side, I live near a high street that has all the coffee stores, all the stores to do my grocery shopping. I have like 2 Starbucks, one further back and one right in front of as I cross the road, there's a Starbucks right there. And then if I walk back further, there's a Starbucks on the bottom of the high road. And then to my right, there's a Cafe Nero who have the most amazing hot chocolate. I love Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks and Black Sheep coffee girly. So I'm a Black Sheep coffee girly, then Starbucks, right? I even have the Starbucks app where I collect points. And then on the right side over here, there's a Cafe Nero. They do the best chai latte and hot chocolate. Then there's regular cafes, there's a Korean restaurant. Oh my God. Then if I walk further up to West End, there's KFC, McDonald's. Oh, everything is around me. Everything, right? Now, I love my Starbucks. But Starbucks is expensive. £6 on my favorite. Right now, we're in pumpkin spice season, right? Twice this week, I've spent £6.15 on a venti-sized pumpkin spice latte, right? Twice. That's cost me what? £13. £13, I believe, is $18 US, right? So this week alone, I've spent $18 on a coffee, pumpkin spice, right? If you times that by 4, now I'm not no mathematician, but let me get my calculator out just so that you stay with me, y'all, because you need to understand this. That stuff builds up, right? It builds up all the time. Now, if you times 18, right, by 4, that means I'm spending $72 a month on coffee. If I want to be able to save on my finances and invest my finances in better things, I'm going to have to reduce how much times a week I buy coffee. How can I do that? I can spend that same $72 that I would have spent a month buying myself a coffee maker and making my coffee at home instead of constantly going to the high street and spending money on coffee. Some people do worse than me. Like, I only spent $18 buying coffee twice this week, $18. Some people do it 5 days a week. Imagine spending what? £6.15, 5 days a week. And you get me. It builds up over time. Now I know, based on me seeing this, I know, okay, I'm going to have to reduce buying a coffee. Instead of 4 times a month, spending $72 a month on coffee, how about I reduce it to $30 a month by only having a Starbucks twice a month instead of going every single day, right? You're going to have to cut back on certain things so that and live below your means so that you can manifest more money and build the financial freedom you want. Think about it like that. And if y'all want me to go deeper in this, please comment in the drop it in the comments, right? What are you willing to sacrifice? And what are you willing to release this final quarter, this week, today, for you to get to your next level? I had to go through releasing 2 things last month for certain things to be done. And I'm glad I did that, right? This month, I had to release something I had planned and say, you know what? FOMO is going to be kicking me. FOMO, the fear of missing out, is going to be banging on my head, but whatever. What's coming, what I'm manifesting and believing God for is better than me sacrificing this one thing. This ain't going nowhere. It's going to always be here when I need it, right? So things like that. Also, my takeaways, the amount of times I do takeaways a month, right? There's sometimes when I can get a bit lazy and I'm ordering takeaways. I'm going to have to cut back on that. I had to release. I'm now having to tell myself, yo, I need to release the amount of times I order off this Just Eat and Uber Eats app. If I'm going to have to delete these apps and replace it with healthy eating and grocery shopping because it's too expensive. I'm living above my means by doing that, right? I have to release that bad habit so that I can get to my next level. All right, y'all. So that's the word I have for you all. It's really been a pleasure speaking to every single one of you. All of you who are here with me live, thank you for being here live. For those of you on the replay, thank you for being here with me on the replay. Also, share this live because somebody needs to hear this word. The word for October, we're going to release the old and release the bad habits and release the things that no longer serve us so that we can rise into our purposeful goddess being, rise into our purposeful self. Because for you to achieve your goals, for you to manifest into your higher self, for you to even manifest into your purpose, you have to release things, you have to sacrifice things, you have to let go of things that no longer serve you and are no longer good for you, right? You have to release to rise. All right, so that's the word I have for you all today. Let me know what your goals are in the comments. If you don't want to share your goals in the comments, you can always DM me because I understand privacy and not having everyone in your business and stuff. Like today, after church, I was like, I'm going to go and have a Sunday nap. But then I realized I had to hold myself accountable. I have to be visible, right? For you to get to your next level in your business, you have to be visible. For me to get to my next level in business, I have to be visible. The fear of judgment is holding a lot of us back. It's holding y'all back. It even tried to hold me back. So I'm speaking as a person who's living this. The fear of judgment is holding you back. The fear of cringe is holding you back. But guess what? You're saying, oh, I don't want to be cringe. Well, guess what? Cringe is paying people. Cringe is paying people in their bank accounts. People are millionaires off being cringe. People are even look at the nonsense president that y'all have in the United States. He's cringe. But that got him into the White House based on the cringe nonsense he talks, right? And that's just me being real. Cringe has made people rich. So your fear of being held, being judged, your shyness is keeping you broke. Your shyness is blocking you from being visible to those who can rise you to the next level. Those that God has put there to open more doors for you. You playing shy and being afraid of being cringe is blocking you from going through the doors that God has for you. God's dream for you is to be abundant. God's dream for you and wish for you is for you to use your gifts so your gifts can make room for you. Like me, after church today, I was ready to go straight to sleep and have a Sunday nap. But I was like, no, I've had this word for everyone in my group. And then again, the perfection syndrome, I call it. Oh, you're not perfect enough. My lace, listen, my lace is not fully glued down. My makeup is not fully on. I'm still a bit barefaced, all of that. But I still went live. That voice in my head, oh, your makeup's not fully done. Your wig is not fully laid down, girl. You don't want to go on a live when your lace is not fully laid down. You didn't fully melt your lace. I was like, you know what? I don't care, right? There are people in their bonnets sitting on live on TikTok and they're still making money. What the heck? I don't need to be. I have this word for them and they're going to hear this word. Okay, y'all? So, yeah, I'm going to leave you all with this word. I'm going to come off live here because I also need to go live on TikTok and put this word out there on TikTok for whoever needs to hear it as well. So, yeah, y'all have an amazing week ahead. I'm going to make sure I go live this week, this next week coming and hold myself accountable. Whatever word God puts in me, I'm going to speak it. Share this live. Make sure you let people know to join this group. We're nearly at 3,000 members. I'm so excited. When we hit 3,000 members, I'm going to definitely celebrate because I don't feel like I celebrate enough. We're all going to celebrate together. All right. I'm also going to do a giveaway. I may buy someone a Starbucks voucher or a Sephora voucher. I'm going to do some kind of giveaway once we hit 3,000 members. I think that would be so fun if I do a giveaway. But the giveaway will be based on a condition, right? And I'll let y'all know. So I may do a little giveaway, but we'll see how things go, okay? I'm going to post in this group about the giveaway I'm going to plan to do. If people help me out with sharing this group and inviting their friends. Because if 10 of y'all invite 100 people, that's 1,000 additional people being brought into my group. However, the person who invites the most members, I will probably give like a Starbucks voucher or something. But I'll put these giveaway information inside the group. Let's see how I feel this week. All right, y'all. But remember, it's time to release so that we can rise. Have an amazing Sunday. I love every single one of you. I look forward to connecting with you all. I have so many goodies in store, especially with my digital products, and I'm going back into coaching as well. So right now I'm preparing my coaching programs, my one-on-ones. One thing I said I wasn't going to do one-on-one coaching anymore, but I may have to. I was like, you know what? I'm only going to do one-on-one coaching for a limited amount of people a month, probably like only 2 clients a month. because I have my Goddess Essential one-on-one boundary and worth reset, which is private coaching for your ultimate upgrade. But I'm only willing to do that for people who are really willing to invest in their upgrade. Not even just invest in the upgrade, they're willing to do the work. Because anyone can invest, but if you're going to just invest like all this money into your upgrade and not do the work, it's a waste of my time and it's a waste of your time. And one thing is, I don't just like taking money. I'm not like interested in just taking the money off my clients. I want to make sure my clients do the work and get the results. If you're not doing the work, it's like, what's the point? You're wasting your money and you're wasting my time, right? I don't ever want to put you in that position. I want you to win. But these are things I'll be talking about over the next couple of months, okay? So love you all. Have an amazing Sunday. Bye.